why is there a garbage can front and center? No one wants to see garbage cans. That has to go. Like, it's just crazy that's there. I don't get it. Hello and welcome to the Listing Audit, where we find questionable listings online, point out their mistakes, figure out what should have been done, and then assess a final score. The scores will be based on 10 categories with a score out of 10, and please learn from the mistakes that you see here, especially if any of these listings look like one of yours. And please don't tell me any of these listings look like one of yours. The listing that I have for you today is an interesting one for a few different reasons. 1, there are photographic issues. 2, there are staging issues. And 3, this is actually a pretty nice home, so this is a major disservice. I'm guessing that this house is probably going to sell for over $500,000. So if this was my house that I was selling and I saw these images, I would be pretty pissed off and I would most likely be looking for a new agent. To start things off, we are going to look at our hero image, and our hero image is the very first shot that anyone is going to see online, so it needs to be the best one. Now, the nice thing with social media is you don't need to use the front exterior if it isn't the best photo. Let's take a look at what this agent chose to be their first image. Okay, so with the first image that we have here, there is a lot going on. The first thing that I noticed myself is the house isn't even centered in the image. It's off to the side. You can actually see a lot of the neighbor's house, which is kind of not appealing. The next issue that I'm sure you saw first is garbage cans. Not only the garbage cans of the homeowner, but also the neighbor's garbage can. So in this one shot, you've got 4 garbage cans when there should be 0. The next problem that I see with this image is that it's of the side of the house, which is kind of peculiar. Most of what you see is the side of the garage, which has absolutely nothing going on except for a handrail. So really a bizarre angle to choose here. You should have taken a shot directly in front or just off to the side at a slight angle. So this is a peculiar shot. The last thing that I notice, it's shot in the evening, and you can see that there's a vehicle that has been pulled up into the driveway because you can see the lights on the lower half of the house, which is really weird. Why would you shine some light on the front of the house like that? It's just, everything about this photo is really awkward. Realistically, it's about as bad as you could have done, aside from the fact that it is at twilight, so you do have a nice sky there. So that is a positive, but everything else just isn't working for this photo. Up next, we have a picture of the front door. I generally suggest including a picture of the front door, the front entrance, as long as it looks nice. This is a very peculiar one though, because it's just a picture of the front door really. This isn't cropped at all by me. This is exactly what was online. What you can see here is the front door. You can see the floor mat and a shoe mat. The shoe mat shouldn't be there at all. It adds nothing to the picture and it's actually dirty. So I'm not sure why it's there. There is no reason for this picture to exist in this post. Up next, we have a bedroom. So this is an interesting photo because we actually can't really see anything of the bedroom because there's such a tight crop on the photo. We can see the corner of the room. We can see a sad bed, which could be similar to a prison cell, I would think. Like, this doesn't look very appealing at all. I could never get excited about living here. And this is a weird order for the photos as well. Generally, you're going from your best photos down to your worst. So generally it's the kitchen, you'd have the living room, the primary bedroom. I mean, this could be the primary bedroom, but it looks tiny. The bed's off to the corner. All around, once again, this is not inspiring. It's not going to get anyone excited. It looks pretty sad. Here's our next photo. Once again, I haven't edited this at all. This is exactly what was online. And this is a picture of a wall. I don't know what's so special about this wall. Maybe they're highlighting the light switch because that's important. You can see a couple of the stairs. So we know this is at least upstairs. So we get an idea where it is. Maybe it's a particularly nice brand of paint that they used. I'm not sure, but this is probably one of the worst photos I've seen. It makes absolutely no sense. Once again, this should have never been included. All right, and our next photo is another bedroom. Once again, it's a really tight corner shot. We see 2 walls. We're looking right at the corner. This bed does look nicer. There's some colors there, so it pops a little more. Honestly though, this actually could be the same bedroom and it's just another bed on the other side of the room. We don't know. I'm assuming it's another bedroom, but it could just be the same one. So once again, we're not getting excited about a shot like this. It's kind of silly to post something like this. Up next, we've got the bathroom. So this could be the ensuite, this could be main floor bath, it could be a powder room. Really not sure because once again, all we've got is a shot of the toilet, which is the least interesting thing that you can show in a bathroom. Realistically, you kind of want to hide the toilet because it's not exciting. There's nothing ever different about a toilet in the bathroom. And even if there was, would you want like a gold-plated toilet or like a pink toilet? No, you just, a toilet's a toilet. Everything else in the bathroom is what is important. You want to see the vanity, you want to see the shower. If there is one, this might be a powder room. We don't know because once again, it's a crazy crop. And the other issue is there's a garbage can on the floor. Why keep garbage cans on the floor? Those should never be in the shot. The other thing with the soap, if you're going to have soap in a shot, make sure it's something nice, it's higher end. I mean, I'm not going to rip all over this one. It's not that big of a deal. There is a little bit of pop of color, so bonus point for them having a little bit of color in the shot, but this is a really pathetic shot of the bathroom. All right, so we are on to another bedroom shot. I'm assuming this is the primary. This looks like it's maybe a bigger bed. Once again, we've got a picture of the corner of the wall. There's something about the corners of the walls in this house that I must be missing something. This must be some of the finest craftsmanship in the world to be highlighted this much. I don't know, I don't get it, but it's what we're getting in every single photo. The bed does look a little bit better in this one as well. The first was the worst one. This is, I mean, it looks okay. We can only see part of it too, so who knows what it actually looks like. The thing that really jumps out to me is how dirty the windows are. There's smudges all over it. It's a bad view outside. This should just be blown out. There should just be a wall of light here just to kind of hide everything that's there. But then again, there's nothing else to look in this photo. It is as boring as it gets. This is so uninspiring. And we've got another bedroom photo. So there could be 4 bedrooms in this house. I don't know. This kind of looks like the second bedroom that we looked at. Same thing here. We're looking at another corner of a wall. I don't get it. It's so silly. There's nothing to get excited about here. This is just really a really poor photo. Okay, so we are finally into the living room, kitchen, dining room area, the most exciting part of the house. And we're what, 5-6 pictures in? So poor choice on the order of the photos here. There is something really nice about this though. It is a wider shot. We can see more than, the corners of the wall. We can actually see a few walls here. And they actually do have a nice shot where you can see the kitchen island, you can see the dining room area, and you can see the living room. So this is good. You can see it's a nice open area. People love open concept shots. It is nice and bright as well. So it's well lit. They've got nice flooring. So I think there actually are good things going on in this photo. You can see in the back, they've got plants. So there's a nice pop of green. We've got some flowers on the island. So that's also another nice pop of color. So this is all good stuff. Some of the things I don't like, the big one is the garbage can in the shot. Why is there a garbage can front and center? No one wants to see garbage cans. That has to go. Like, it's just crazy that it's there. I don't get it. The other thing is I would have maybe framed this a little bit better. As you can see off on the side, the left-hand side's a lot of wall and we don't need to see the wall. I mean, we've got some spice racks there, so that adds a little bit to the ambiance. So that's okay, but I mean, realistically, the camera should be way over to the side. So you're just seeing the living room, dining room, and the kitchen. Now, the other major issue with this image is there are 2 massive photos on the walls, which are personal items. I blurred them out here so that we're not showing any personal info, but these should have been removed or they should have been photoshopped out. Realistically, the best option here is if you had just a nice image that was, like a landscape photo, something like that, that fills in the space. It looks nice because a blank wall doesn't look great either. So I would have taken these images down for sure because you don't want any personal images up, especially like big family photos. This is just not what you want in the space. And these things are massive. All right, so our next photo, we have another bathroom. This one actually is a wide shot. We can see most of the bathroom, which is really, really nice here. I'm assuming this is just the main floor bathroom here. It doesn't look like there's a shower in here. Few issues. For one, we've got another garbage can. We've got the toilet paper holder in the corner, which isn't very pretty. And off to the far side, we've got a cable that's hanging down the wall that shouldn't be in the shot either. So these should all be gone. The nice thing in here, it is wider shots. You can see the whole space. You can see some plants, which is nice. It adds a pop of color and it is bright. So this actually works much better than the other photos. Okay, that is all the photos that we have for this listing. So let's assess the score. Number 1 is cleanliness. And yes, this home is clean. Now we don't have the best angles to see the whole space, but in the rooms where we can see a little bit more of it, we can see that it is in fact clean. So this does get 1 point. Number 2 is brightness. And yes, this home is bright. It is a new home. It is very well lit. So it gets another point here. Number 3 is spaciousness. And unfortunately, we can't tell. These are some terrible photos to use to show the space in the home. We've got corners of walls in almost every single shot. We've got just a wall photo in another shot, so you can't tell how much room there is. We've got one of the kitchen, living room, and dining room where you can see the space. And so yeah, actually this does look nice here, but that's one photo. The bathrooms look terrible aside from one. So for spaciousness, we have to give it a 0. Number 4 is the hero shot. And once again, this is a total failure. The house is of the side of the house, so we're seeing mostly the side of the garage, which is nothing to see. There are 4 garbage cans in the photo, which is just terrible. And at the bottom of the house, you can see there's headlights shining on it. So someone parked in the driveway and you've got headlights, they're just kind of adding another distraction. So this is a really, really ugly shot. This is a very bad hero shot. It should be from the front of the house and it should have this glow, this aura that this is a future dream home. So once again, this gets a 0. Number 5 is camera perspective. This is where you want the best angles of the house, and this house just does not have it. This is one of the worst that I've seen. As we mentioned, we've got corners of the walls being featured in almost every shot, or just a flat wall in another shot. The front door was pretty much just the actual front door. So here the camera perspective doesn't add anything to the house, so this gets a 0. Number 6 is staging. Now this house, once again, we've got some staging in the living room and the dining room because we can see the dining room table and the couch, which does look good. I'm not going to say anything negative about that shot, but that's one out of all of the shots that they have. The bedrooms all look super boring. The beds look plain. There's nothing inviting there. 2 of the bathroom shots, you can't see anything. And the 3rd bathroom does have at least a nice wide shot where you can see some of the plants. So I would say that's a good shot. But 2 out of 7 shots being good is just not enough. This one also gets a 0. Number 7 is clutter. Now, once again, it's hard to judge this one because we can see so little of the house. The living room, dining room, kitchen area does look like it is clean and clutter-free, but the big issue is that there are garbage cans in almost every photo in this house. There are 4 garbage bins in the front exterior. There's a garbage can in the kitchen, and the bathrooms are full of garbage cans. There are 7 garbage cans total in these photos. That is way too many. There should be 0. So for that reason, this also gets a 0. Number 8 is emotion. What does this house make you feel? You know, when I look at it, I should be thinking, you know, this is going to be my dream home. This is the home that I'm going to live in for, you know, maybe the next 10 years. Is this a house that I'm going to raise kids in? You know, what does it make me feel? And honestly, this doesn't make me feel anything. The photos in this house are of terrible angles, as we've already covered. There's nothing to feel about the bedrooms. I couldn't imagine kids living in there because I can't see any of the room. It's too tiny. There's no imagination there. With the primary bedroom, once again, you're seeing a small portion of the bed. Is there actually an ensuite? I'm assuming there is, but you can't see it. You can see a closet in the back corner, but it's dark. There is nothing to feel in this house. So overall, for the emotion, this gets a 0. Number 9 is room purpose. Do the rooms look like what they are intended to be? So for example, does the primary bedroom look like a primary bedroom? Is the living room set up so that it looks like a comfortable, livable space? And does the dining room look like there is enough space to have company over? So for this house, once again, it's so hard to tell because of the poor camera angles. Sure, we can see beds in the bedrooms, but they look like they're also tucked in the corner, and it could be an incredibly small bedroom that's maybe better off as an office, but we can't tell. We can't tell anything from any of these photos. So once again, this gets a 0. Number 10 is buyer imagination. Can the buyer imagine living in this space? Now this is a little bit different from emotion because with emotion, we want the buyer to feel something. Here, we want them to be able to picture their furniture and their lives in this home. And of course, the answer here is hell no. There is no buyer that could imagine themselves living in this space because they can't see any of the house. All they see are walls. This is a terrible way for a buyer to, really get into the mindset of this is where I could put my bed, this is where I'm going to put my couch, this is where myself and my kids are going to be playing board games, this is where we are going to be eating dinner. You can't imagine yourself in this space because you can't see any of it. So of course, this gets a 0. So the overall score for this house is a 2 out of 10. And this is so sad because this is a really nice house. What you can see in the photos, you know that it is a new build. You can see from the living dining room setup that there is probably a good amount of space, but there's nothing else that you can see this house. There is nothing to get you excited. There's no way that you can plan out any of your furniture in this space. There is just nothing to go on from these photos. This is the easiest house to see and just decide, you know what, I'm gonna look at something else. Or they are going to most likely think, hey, you know what, I can throw in a lowball offer because this house is not going to get a lot of offers because it's not interesting. Who would get excited about this house? All right, that's it for this week's episode of Listing Audit. Thank you very much for watching, and please, please, please learn from what you have seen here and don't repeat any of these mistakes. And remember, stand out, sell more, and rebel against bad marketing. I'll see you in the next one.